Okay, so let's get moving around. Moving on Unit 2. We are still in Chapter 4, but now we're going to work on questions 3 and 4. I'm going to go through question 3 very easy. It's just conversions for temperatures. And then I will get into the first half of the questions for question 4. So let's start off with those temperature conversions. As you well know, you have the formulas that you need to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius and the other way around, Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's in your book. It's also on that sheet that you will be given for the tests. So memorizing the formula isn't necessarily a priority, but knowing how it works certainly is. So in our book for question 3, you can see that you have 4 temperatures to convert. And if we start with the first one, 500 degrees Fahrenheit, they want you to go to Celsius. So again, you just punch in 500 degrees Fahrenheit into the Fahrenheit to Celsius formula, and you go to town with it. Remember that the order of operations always apply. So when you're going to Fahrenheit and Celsius, you must subtract the 32 from whatever that you're starting off with, because the values in the brackets are what's important. And then you just get your calculator out and you do the whole thing. And there's the numbers for the 4 first answers. But we do need to round, and we need to round to the nearest 5 degrees on all the answers. The first one was already at 260, didn't need anything else. But here you see the final rounded answers. And again, I'm not going to spend any more time than this. Just use the formula. Plug in the numbers, get out the calculator, use the formula to get your answer, and then of course the rounding will come in very handy. Let's move on to question 4A. And here we're going in a completely different direction. We're now going from one measure unit to another. So as you can see here in the first question, we're going to go from kilograms to pounds, and we want that in their decimal equivalent. So we want to go from 14.678 kilograms and convert it into the decimal equivalent in pounds. Nothing here changes other than the no-brainer part. I can't use 14 as a whole number because 14 whole kilograms does not equal 14 whole pounds. So I just begin with the work I know I have to do. Number one priority, what is the relationship between kilograms and pounds? You may remember, but we need 2.2 pounds to make 1 kilogram. So we're going to take 14.678 and we're going to multiply it by 2.2, again, the amount of pounds in a kilogram. And when you do that, you get 32.2916. And if we need to round that off to 2 decimal places, you end up with 32.29 pounds. So in other words, 32.29 pounds is absolutely equal in weight to 14.678 kilograms when you've rounded it off the pounds to 2 decimal places. Gets a little easier. Let's keep moving along. Here we have 485 grams. We want to convert this to ounces, rounding it off to the nearest ounce. Our relationship between ounces and grams, 28.4 grams equals an ounce. So this time I'm going to take the amount of grams that I have and divide by 28.4 because that's what equals 1 ounce. And when you do that, you get 17.077464. We need to round this to the nearest half ounce. So either 17 ounces or 17.5 ounces. I think we can all see that it's nearer to the 17 ounces. Moving along, we need to go from 2.75 pounds to kilograms and grams. If you notice that little equal sign here in the middle means I want to take 2.75 pounds and convert it to kilograms. And then I want to take that same 2.75 pounds and convert it to grams. There's a couple of different ways of going about it here. Let's begin. If we're going to go to kilograms, we need to divide the amount of pounds by 2.2. And because, again, there are 2.2 pounds in a kilogram, and that gives us 1.25 kilograms. Now we want to take, again, that same 2.75 pounds and go to grams. What's the difference there? Well, now we can go 2 different ways. We can take the 1.25 kilograms and multiply it by 1,000 because that's the amount of grams in a kilogram. And if we do that, we get 1,250 grams, which is indeed the answer. And for a guy like me, using the metric system is a whole bunch easier because they're nice round numbers and we're multiplying by 1,000 and what have you. So 1.25 kilograms does indeed equal 1,250 grams. Or We could have started with our original 2.75 pounds and multiplied that by the amount of grams in a pound, which is 454. And you notice when you do that, you get a slightly different answer. You get 1,248.5. Now they want us to round that off to 2 decimal places, so that would pretty much be what it is. But again, a slightly different answer. Both answers are correct, but if you don't show me the logic you use to calculate your answer, you won't get a mark for the correct answer. Because if you were doing 2.75 pounds multiplied by 454, your answer should not be 1,250. So depending on what way you want to go, you can get a slightly different answer. Showing your logic becomes super, super important. The next question wants us to convert 26 ounces into equivalents in gram. Again, the relationship 28.4 grams equals an ounce. So multiply the amount of ounces we have, 26, by that relationship of 28.4. We get 738.4 grams. This needs to be rounded off to the nearest 5 grams. So we're either going to have 735 grams or 740. I hope that we can see that 740 is the correct answer. If not, you need to study up on your rounding. And let's look at this next question. We need to go from 45 millimeters to milliliters, forgive me, to tablespoons. Remember that the relationship is 1 tablespoon equals 15 milliliters. So how many 15 milliliters are there in 45? 45 divided by 15 gives us 3 milliliters exactly.